Alright guys, Split Hill wanted me to talk about my research paper presentation, the one that you guys will be doing, just to give you guys an example. So when I was in Psych 307 a couple years ago, at the time I was having issues with sleep. I've talked about that before in a couple videos. And so I was interested in sleep deprivation and how sort of some of the factors that went into it, but especially how sleep deprivation would impact or relate to academic performance. And I wanted to look at what could be done to alleviate some of that deprivation, some of those symptoms. So, um, my abstract says this review examines the potential benefits that a holistic approach could have on college students who are sleep deprived and that approach's impact on their academic performance. A holistic approach is just a broad, sort of multifaceted approach to things, so that it encompasses, the bio, psycho, social, all kinds of different methods to work on a problem. It will provide a review of a number of mental and physical problems that are connected to sleep deprivation as both causes and effects. In particular, rumination and its association with heart arrhythmias will be reviewed as a potentially more detrimental cause and effect. A purview of a number of therapeutic methods that, when combined together, can provide a much more balanced lifestyle between the demands of modern society, education, and getting enough sleep will also be explored. The content of this literature review is, therefore, to review the negative physical and mental problem of sleep deprivation on college students' academic performance, and to provide a possible route to holistic recovery through a well-rounded approach to improving sleep. So I talk about a couple of the different factors that go into sleep deprivation and the relationship that it has with academic performance. Some of the things that I looked at in the literature, and sort of just a general overview. One of the things that I wanted to know about first off was the importance of sleep. So during sleep, we consolidate our memories, the things that we've learned throughout the day. Those memory traces are laid down in the brain, and if you don't get enough sleep, those memories can't be fully consolidated, and you can't access those memories as easily or as accurately as you could as if you had gotten enough sleep. In the research, there was a study that I looked at that talked about there were a surprising number of medical errors that were associated with sleep deprivation among doctors and nurses. They do so much work that they don't get enough sleep. Their job is so demanding, and that was really interesting. Insomnia can also be a predictor of depression. When you can't sleep, it affects sort of just the whole chemistry of your brain and how that works, and that can lead to depression, among other things like anxiety, that both of which are, really, really common, but also pretty, in this case at least, pretty preventable. When your brain function is inhibited, it can lead to suicide. It narrows down the sort of perceptual bubble that you have. And when your brain isn't functioning, you can't process things accurately or correctly like you could when your brain was functioning at full capacity. And one other study I looked at with sort of the brain and memory was semantic word association. In the study, people who were sleep deprived were performed more poorly on the tests that they were given than those who didn't, showing that there's another association between memory and the amount of sleep you get. Another thing that I looked at was heart arrhythmias and rumination, sort of another mental and physical symptom associated with sleep deprivation. It can cause both physical and mental stress. Arrhythmias are just odd rhythms of the heart, so arrhythmia or a tachyarrhythmia is where your heart is really slow or really fast. And if that persists, then it can damage your heart and can lead to heart disease and heart function and heart operations becoming necessary. Um, Sometimes they can be harmless and they just happen and there's nothing wrong with it. However, um, they can lead to rumination and anxiety because you think and you think and you think about, okay, is there something really wrong with me? But you're not sure, and it can be difficult to decide, okay, am I going to go to a doctor? And that process can lead to lack of sleep because you just sit there and your brain is going a million miles an hour. Um, that preoccupation and that anxiety can also lead to hypertension. Um, in the discussion of my part of my paper, I looked at some of the methods that can be used to approach sleep deprivation in this holistic sort of approach to therapy. Mindfulness and meditation can help relieve the stress so that you can sleep. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, was used on older adults with insomnia and had positive results. Um, Nature therapy and involvement, another way to relieve stress and relax so that that tension and that anxiety isn't there. And there were also some studies I looked at that had equine therapy as opportunities that helped kids with ADHD, so trouble with focusing, which has ties into academic performance. So all these things relate to academic performance, and I wanted to see what could be done to address the problem underlying why some students may be struggling with their academics. So that's basically the presentation you're going to be giving. You want to go over the history, what you looked at in your paper, the main big parts of the literature that you looked at, the causes and the studies that you looked at, and then the discussion, what your solution is to the problem that you're looking at. Hopefully this is helpful. Let us know if there's anything we can do for you.